y'all. I have got all your questions written down in this little book that was a Christmas gift from Mary Jo. So I'm going to answer them, and I just wrote them down as they came in order. So here we go. I didn't get anybody's names or anything like that involved. I just wrote down the question. Number one, I get this question a lot. What is Hazel? How old is Hazel? Where does she stay if it's hot in the van? Where did you get her? Okay, first of all, Hazel is a Yorkie Pomeranian mix. She's looking at me from her seat because we just got back from a good walk. She's a Yorkie Pomeranian mix. She weighs about 8 pounds, a little more than she should. I got her from a high kill shelter in Lancaster, California. Hazel goes with me all over the place, and she is with me 99.9% of the time. But if there is an occasion where I would have to leave her in the van and it is too hot, she stays at her Aunt Mary Jo's. She has a bed, food, and water in there. And she does get up on the couch when we're not there, which she knows she's not supposed to do. So that's pretty much it for Hazel. Now, if I am somewhere where I'm not around Mary Jo or what have you, and I need to do some shopping or whatever, then RV fat cat hair. And so I don't go unless it's cool, okay, at night. And I will leave her in the van and make sure it's plenty cool and her windows are pretty far down, and she does just awesome. You guys don't worry about Hazel. I would never let anything happen to my baby girl. Right, Hazel? When you guys just crap your pants if she said, "That's right, Mom." Okay. A question from somebody was, what happened to Sam? Sam is my youngest son, who is now 22 years old. He does have kind of an interesting story and has had a rough life. And so I did get permission from Sam to talk about his life, and I will do that in a separate video. Now, somebody asked me a question, why don't you rent a place together? Now, I don't know whether they were talking about Mary Jo or my friend Terry. Now, I did room with my friend Terry before. I rented a bathroom and a bedroom when he lived in the mobile home, and we got along just wonderful. But the $500 a month was really, that's more than 50% of my income, so that was a little much for me. It was nice while it lasted. We loved to watch all the cowboy movies. As for Mary Jo and I are very, very different people. And even after like a week of hanging out intensively, we have to have a little break. Mary Jo is married, and that's a subject that is not for me to discuss. That is her personal life. So Mary Jo and I don't live together for more than one reason. Let me see. Somebody asked me, do you sleep in the van every night? Yes, I do. Do my sons help me financially? You know what? If I really, really needed it and asked for it, I'm sure that they would help me out. I don't like to ask. I did stay with my older son, you guys know that, for 1.5 years while I was waiting for my disability. And he let me take over his living room and turn it into a big bedroom, and I was very comfy there. But I'm glad that I have my van. How do my sons and my exes feel about my van life? Well, you know what? I don't really care. I couldn't resist that, y'all. And really, I don't. It's not that I don't care, but nobody is going to stop me from doing what I want to do. It's my business. It's my life. I mean, if I wanted to swing from the trees in Africa, that would be on me. I'm a grown woman. Um, would my sons prefer it if I had kept one of the many homes that I owned throughout my life? A couple of them here in, more than a couple here in California. I'm sure they would prefer that, just like I would prefer that if I'd have been a smarter woman. But they don't, as far as my exes, there's only one of them, husband number 4, the Colonel. He knows that I live in my van, and he's remarried. So, you know, we just stay in touch because we care about each other. But he's got his life, I've got my life. I have no idea what he thinks about me living in my van. Now, he used to visit me when I was driving a cab, and I would be on Camp Pendleton. He would come by and say hello to me when he was in the country. Okay, do I have any grandchildren? No, I don't. My older son is 42. He told me when he was 16 he never wanted to have children, and I commend him on the fact that he has never had any children. If you don't want them, you shouldn't have them. People get into relationships, they get into marriages, and one person says, I don't really, I don't want to have kids. And then you get in this relationship and the other person is putting the pressure on, I just want a baby. I just want a baby. Well, you know what? I get that, wanting to have a baby. But you need to think about what your partner says. If they say they don't want one, then don't force one on them. That child is not going to get good parenting from that person, more than likely. Anyway, no grandkids for me. Now, I don't know my 22-year-old. Someday he may, have a kid. Actually, I'm fine if he does not. Our world really is not the great place to bring little babies into. But that's just my opinion. Everybody calm down. Okay. Do I work out? I'm sorry, y'all. I think this was a serious question, something about my shoulders. But I'm here to tell you, when I got pregnant, when I was 40 with my younger son, my workout days were over. I worked 40, 50, sometimes 60 hours a week. I was a single parent with no family with a baby. I did not have the time or the energy to work out. So no, I have not worked out in a very long time. I wish I did. It's pure laziness now because I could. Let me see. What else we got here? How do I keep cool in my van? Well, I put all the windows down. I open up my fantastic fan. And most of the time, and I park in the shade, and most of the time that's okay, but we are getting into hot weather. It's going to get hot. This weekend it's supposed to be in Victorville, 109. Okay, so I won't be staying in Tank while I'm in Victorville. I will be, I think, inside Terry's home. It just depends. So what I need to do is get a little bit of solar to put on my roof outside. I don't know. I think 100 watts would be more than enough. And then down underneath the seat here, you guys know I have a house battery that's charged off my front battery when the van is running. I don't have a gauge on that battery, so I don't know how much power I'm using, and I don't want to ruin it. You can't run it down to less than 50%. So if I get 100 watts of solar, then I will have enough power to run my fantastic fan, which does a great job. Do I travel or boondock, and do I worry about getting older living in a van? I don't travel very much, you guys. I have made a few camping trips. I went out to the winter RTR in Arizona, froze my Tootsie off. Thank you, Ford Van Man and your sweet wife, for that heater and propane tank. It saved my life. And so I urban camp right now. As you guys know, I came out here months ago to help Mary Jo with her chemo, and then she got a pacemaker. And she's just now starting really to drive herself where she needs to go, which is awesome. So when I get done helping Terry, it's almost going to be time for my trip to go up to Washington. And I will just drive until I get sleepy, an hour or two, pull over at a rest stop and take a little nap. So, I forgot what the question was. Oh, camping, boondocking. So, would I do some boondocking? Yes, I would. I definitely would. I would love to visit a national forest or somewhere where there's a lot of trees, and I love wildlife. I would love to do something like that, but it's not happening right now. Do I worry about getting older in a van? Of course. Well, that's a lie. I mean, I really don't worry about much, you guys. I don't sit around and say, oh, what's going to happen to me if my hips go out and I can't get in and out of the van? What's going to happen to me if I have to wear Depends and drive in a van? No. I honestly can say, y'all, I don't worry about that. Does it cross my mind occasionally? Yeah, if I see somebody that's older that is not in very good health, like our sweet neighbor that lives in the apartment underneath Mary Jo. He is their resident. He rents from them, and he gave up his truck a few months ago because he has heart problems. He did not want to have a stroke or a heart attack and hurt somebody while he was driving. And I commend him on that. It's hard for men to give up their keys, and it'll be hard for me to give up my keys. But I don't worry about it, you guys. I just take things as they come, and then I'll deal with them. I don't know. Am I going to go stay with one of my sons? Are they going to slap me in an old folks' home? I don't have a clue. But I hope I've got sense enough that if I'm not able and if I'm a danger to anybody, that I will get off the road. I hope that answers your question. Do I have sisters and brothers? I had two older sisters. My mother was married to her first husband and had the two girls. And then my sister that's closest to me is 5 years older than me. We never lived in the same house, you guys. They stayed with their dad when my mother left that marriage. And then she married my dad and had myself and my little brother, John Paul, who was 2 years younger than me. Then I have a sister, Penny, the oldest of the four of us kids, and she's deceased. She did a lot of drugs in her life, bless her heart, and I'm sure that contributed to her demise. She died way too early. Now, the other sister, since my mom passed away many years ago, that was the last contact I had with her. She's still kicking it up in Maine somewhere, and I can't for the life of me, I can't track her down. I can't even remember what her married name was. But anyway, so my little brother, you know, John Paul, got murdered when he was 21. So basically, I don't have any siblings left. Let's see. Would I consider marriage again? Now, this came from a lady, I'm pretty sure. But I'm going to get into all the husbands I've had, you guys. And I know it sounds really terrible that I've been married 6 times. It sounds that way to me. And it shocks people when I say that. They think I'm kidding. Would I ever get married again? I wouldn't do that to another guy, okay? I am high maintenance, not in the clothes, the jewelry, all it. I'm the hair, the makeup, all that crap. I'm not that kind of high maintenance. I am very stubborn. I like things my own way. I'm a control freak. And I admit these things readily, you guys. Do I miss the companionship? I do. I miss having somebody in the living room reading the paper while I'm upstairs watching something on TV that he thinks is rot. Yeah, I do miss that. I do. But am I lonely? Am I sad? No. I'm good. I'm good. Okay, let me see. Afraid on the road? No, I am not. I'm probably too stupid to be afraid while I'm on the road. This video's getting really long, y'all. I'm not. The only time I've ever been afraid was one night on the way out to the RTR in Arizona. Oh, Hazel, you fell in the Taco Bell bag. And I was going to stop and sleep a little while at this rest stop on the side of the road. And I pulled in and I started to close Tank's curtains all up. But I'm going to tell y'all, there was like one other person parked in that parking lot. Me and them. I was not comfortable with that at all. So I just opened the curtains back up and kept driving. That's the only time that I felt like creeped out. You know, like there were only the two of us there. If that person wanted to do something ugly to me, I would have had absolutely no help, except for Hazel. And who knows, he might have done something ugly to her. But no, I'm not afraid. Okay, let's see. Oh, good. Just a couple more. It's how do I stay safe? Where do I park? I'm going to tell you guys, this is so stupid. This is memory, okay? The other night, I was parked by the church where I park a lot. And when I woke up in the morning, we went to bed, and when I woke up in the morning, it was really cold. And I was like, dang, I don't remember the last time that it was this cold. And so I got up and I had, of course, pulled my curtain in the front to separate the seats from the back part. And when I got up, the curtain was blowing, okay? I had gone to sleep with my windows, both my front windows were down. And not only that, my keys were in the ignition. See what I mean about being scared? I am not smart enough to be afraid. That was very stupid. Please, you guys, don't send me a bunch of comments saying, don't do that, make sure you check, da, 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 da. I know, I'm an idiot. Okay, last question. What do I want out of life? Man, that's a heavy question, y'all. But I can tell you that what I want out of life is what I've wanted apart from having a family. Having a family was so important to me, or I wouldn't have tried over and over and over to have one. But what I want at this point in my life is I want my van to run and continue to be a home. I want my little dog to be healthy. And the sweet guard dog, she almost bit Dan, the mechanic, today when we were over there. And I want to be useful. I want to be useful. I don't want to spend the rest of my life floating around, accomplishing nothing. I need to feel useful. I need to feel wanted. Like today, I took Tank over to Arts and had his shocks done, and they missed me over there at the nonprofit. They asked where I was, if I was okay, if I was coming back. I mean, I need to be useful. and to do things for other people. If you don't get out of yourself and you don't help other people, then that you just get in your head. Oh, I think I'm sick. Oh, I'm getting sick. Oh, this hurts. Oh, that hurts. Oh my God, something's wrong. You know what? The best way to feel better is to get out of yourself and try to do something for other people. Do some good somewhere. And that's what I want out of my life. And I'm getting it. Who knew that this opportunity with this nonprofit was going to happen? Who knew that? And I really hate to take time out to go up and see my kids, but they are a priority. So I'm going to do it. And this place will be here when I get back. And Mary Jo will be here as well. So anyway, you guys, thank you so much for your questions. And I appreciate them. And just know that you can ask me whatever you want. There's nothing too personal. I will answer it. You never know when something you answer might actually be helpful to someone else. And I love that about my little community. You guys are so freaking awesome. Reaching out to each other, talking to each other, emailing each other. I mean, it blows my mind. It's the best thing about my channel. So thank you guys. Do something fun today. And I appreciate you all so much. And that's the talk of the Starbucks woman. Bye, y'all.